Buster and Lantana again on the on Dani's 68 GTO. Yesterday's episode, I cut out the rear panel, and as you can see, it's back in there and it's fitted up pretty good. I made this flange, the lip for the gutter, so that the water doesn't roll underneath and down the pan. And I made the gutter over here completed. There was nothing here, so I patched it into pieces and made a nice little round so that it trails down the inside and leaves the car from there. What happens a lot on these is, I don't know why it seems to be so common, that when these center panels get worked, the fender can come up and down. They're really a really tricky fit up. The part is usually good, but if it's off by just a little bit, it gets a little weird. And what happened is, this is where it's really important. The corner, when that trunk lays down, the trunk has to finish at the same. It's got to be flush with the quarter. And this one, while I was working it and getting it as close as I could, I found that I needed to add 1/8 of an inch to the bottom of the fender. And I made the flange. It goes underneath, so it ties in nice. And now it's probably about a 1/16 long, and this side is about a 1/16 long. So that means I'm in the park. The gasket is going to take up for some of it, the way the latch hardware holds it down. But this is really important. I don't know how many times I've seen where once the bumper goes up, it looks great and everything else. Once the bumper goes up, the gap on this side will be 1/4 of an inch, and on the other side is 3/4 or 1/8 of an inch. And it's really not the bumper, because the bumper doesn't have much adjustment at all. It's just the way that they didn't pay attention when they do it. Somebody that does this for the first time, the Chevelles, the Olds 442, the GTO, they all seem to do it like that, and you really got to pay attention. Now, what I wanted to also bring up was in one of the episodes on this car. Got to remember, this one's pretty high expectations. Yes, he's just going to drive it and enjoy it, but at the same time, the car really is a muscle car, and we want to not only maintain the value, but increase it on all the inspection points. And one of them that I hold near and dear to my heart is these seams right here. The center, the filler panel, the way it connects to here, they're folded down like this. They're supposed to meet. There's supposed to be this seam here. It's not supposed to be filled. If you see a car where that's filled, that means that there was rust here that they just bounded over, and that's a big alarm for anybody that's going to be looking at the car. Now, that in the trunk that we've gone over before, and now that it's cured, you can see that I still haven't gone over my finish detail, but she's getting really close now that I've got the center panel in, and I can finish filling that in and detailing my tie-ins. Today is going to be rocker panel day, and I'm going to see if I can get both of them in one day. They're really blown out. This is another typical thing. The corner of the door, this corner is almost always got trouble. Obviously, you can see this rocker, and this is the better of the two. The other side is really blown out. There's big holes all down through here. Now, just a minute ago, I was talking about the importance of the seam, and that runs right along here. As you see, they filled it, which is very, very, very common once those holes start in and they do their Bondo work, and it's an old repair. And nobody notices it when the car is going down the road, but anybody that looks at these cars and they know what they're looking at, you're going to knock off a few $1,000s. If you don't have this seam in here, you don't have those seams up there, you're going to knock a few $1,000s off the car right off the bat. And they're going to say, okay, if the worker was so lazy or not skilled enough to maintain that seam, what does the rest of the car look like? Here we go with the tire kickers, and they're going to start looking for other stuff. If you have your seams right there, which are visible right off the bat, that implies that somebody knew that they were doing, and was detailed. And that's what I am and who I am. I think we can get a quick look at the other side, how bad it is. Let's go over there. Without knocking my cameraman over. As you see, this is really blown out. This is the case of when I start opening this up, it's really no telling how far and how bad it is. It's really strange how a lot of the side is blown out, but the bottom is good. You know, God only knows how these things happen. But you should be able to see back there, cameraman, that that it's all whacked out in here. So this is going to take a bunch of little pieces, hand-formed pieces, and such like that to get it to lay in right. But other than that, the rest of the rear quarter is good as far as it should be, because this one was replaced and this is where they seamed it. They seamed it here, but when they did, they didn't seal it properly. And in one of the other videos that we have, I pulled off a whole layer of this. This was probably over a 1/4 inch thick. So at some point, probably tomorrow, I'm taking this out all the way to here, to here, to here, and putting in a new piece. Even though it didn't rusted, yes, I could probably get away with filling it and no one would ever know. I still don't feel as though that's the way to go. Just again, he really wants this to be nice, and the owner, he'll know it's there, and it'll probably bug him until eternity. So we're gonna cut it out and take care of that. What we're doing is going from the biggest problems and working our way down. So I'm gonna leave that center panel alone for the moment. At the end of the day, I'll start doing a little dressing and such like that when I'm starting to get sore, and with the up and down and laying upside down. At the end of the day, that's when I like to do little dress-ins and such like that. That's where we're going today, from sunny Lantana in Palm Beach, Florida. It's Palm Beach County, Florida. And I don't see a cloud in the sky, so that means it only should rain for half a day. Until then, thank you all and have a good day.
It's not shut.